Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the 3 by the Sea Designs YouTube channel. My name is Kim and I'm 1/3 of 3 by the Sea Designs. My mom, my sister, and I, we have an online shop where we make and sell items for knitters and crocheters. We make project bags, stitch markers, progress keepers, and other goodies too. So this channel is all about our shop, what we've been working on, and any shop news we'll share here. It will also be about my knitting journey, the things that I've been working on, and anything else that we want to share with you guys. So thank you for joining, and let's get settled in and get started. Shop news, let's start there. This week has been so busy for us. We got all of our 2022 candygrams mailed off yesterday. I think was the last haul to the post office, and we were so excited to get those out to you guys. If you don't know what our candygram is, and we do still have some in the shop, but this year we decided to do, for Valentine's Day, we decided to come up with a fun little package that you would get in the mail that you could either buy for yourself or gift to a friend. And they've been a lot of fun, actually. We had fun designing everything, and it was really fun to put them all together, and we're so excited for you guys to get everything. I'm not going to spoil anything, but this beautiful bright pink bubble mailer is what it will come in. And you get a 2-piece stitch marker set. You get a mystery notions gift, candy, sweets, can't tell you what, but think classic Valentine stuff. And you will also get a Valentine's card. Now, if you are gifting this candygram to a friend and you want us to mail it directly to them, we can definitely do that. Just make sure that you mark it as a gift and put their name and address in the shipping information. And we will put on the Valentine's card to Sally from Mary, just like a classic Valentine you would have given, as a child at school. It's a very nostalgic candygram. If you're just sending it to yourself, which a lot of people have done, and we think that's awesome, you can, we'll just write a note to you on the card. If you're buying it and having it sent to you, but it's for a friend, just mark it as a gift and let us know, and we'll leave the card blank so that you can write your own note in on the Valentine's card. So that is our 2022 candygrams. Thank you so much to everyone who ordered one. And, like I said, we had a lot of fun putting them together, and there are still some left in the shop if you would like to go purchase one. All right, so other shop news, what else? Oh, okay, so we've added one more progress keeper to this Valentine's update. The reason why we had to stagger this update, normally we don't do that. We put everything in at one time. That way you can go browse and shop and have everything shipped to you at once. But this time, as I'm sure all of you know, the shipping and mail has been quite slow, and even though we order these things that we want to make way ahead of time, sometimes things get lost or, just slowly coming to us. So we were waiting on a few other things to come in the mail. So I am going to show you, I'm going to do a cutaway and show you off camera the brand new, the last of the stitch markers that we're going to add in the shop today. All right, so we have 2 new stitch markers or progress keepers to add into the shop. This one is a traditional and multicolor hearts, like the Sweethearts candy. It has reds, pinks, yellows, purples, blues, and some of the hearts have a saying on them. Some say love, mood, sweetheart. So that's that one. And then we have this one, which is all pinks, reds, some pearls in there, little beads, just different sprinkles, and one little heart that says love on it. Oh, that's out of focus. Sorry, hold on. They're very lightweight. They will not hold your project down. You could use them as a progress keeper. You could even put these on the outside of your project bag. If you've got the one with the lobster clasp, you could use it as a zipper pull. And they're just adorable. Keeps wanting to focus on that yarn. This one has the sprinkles. Each jar is going to be a little bit different, mainly just because there's so many different colors and different sayings on them, but they're all relatively the same. But in these jars, we tried to have at least one heart that said love. Also, one more thing, these lids are glued down with a jewelry glue. So you don't have to worry about when you have it hanging, you do not have to worry about that coming off. I've tried to pull them off myself just to test it, and they are not coming off at all. So they're totally secure, and I think they'll be such a fun addition to your knitting projects. We also have our scissors back in stock. We have two different sizes. This is the small, the 9.5 centimeters, and then the large is the 11.5 centimeters. We have rose gold, bronze, silver, this pretty floral color, and the rainbow color. They come with these little plastic covers so they won't damage anything in your project bag. These are great to have in your notions pouch or to keep in your project bag for when you need to snip the ends off of your yarn. I cannot have enough scissors. I feel like I need one for every project bag that I have. Okay, so that's our new confetti jar of cuteness. They don't show up on this camera very well, but I just think they're adorable. And this one is the one with the pink top, and it's got all the little confetti in it. And then this one has all of the hearts in it with different sayings on them with some sprinkles in it as well. So they're very lightweight. I know they're glass, but they're very lightweight. They'll be adorable on your projects. And that's the last of our Valentine's stuff. Now we will be doing another update at the beginning of March, probably March 1st, I would say March 1st or 2nd, and it will be our spring update. It will not be a specific holiday theme, just there will be some things in there that are just completely random additions or things that we're restocking in the shop, and lots of beautiful spring things, and we're very excited about this next update. So, and of course we will, do a premiere, a sneak peek. I'm not sure exactly how we'll do it yet, but you guys will definitely know about it. So what else for shop news? We did restock our embroidery scissors. We have these adorable little bird scissors. I think I put them in the video with the stitch markers, so you saw them. So those are all back in stock, and I think we have a few new colors as well. And that's really it for shop news. We've been so busy, and we're so thankful and grateful for all of your orders. And we love that you guys love our stuff that we make and enjoy using them while you're knitting or crocheting, that they're useful to you, and that you're going to get long-term use out of these things. We really love what we do, and we love that you love our stuff. So, all right, I think that's it for shop news. Let me show you what I'm wearing. So, this is a shawl. that my mom made for me. She gave it to me for my birthday last year. It's very long, so I can't show the whole thing, but it starts off small over here, gets bigger. This is a pattern by Amba O'Brien. I do not know the name of it, but it's probably something to do with these chevron stripes. I'm not sure. If I can find out the name of it from my mom, I'll put it on the screen. But she knows that I like green. Green is not my favorite color, but it's my second favorite color. And this, I wear this all the time. It keeps my neck so warm. And I think it's a color that I can wear. Like, you know, there's some colors that don't look good on people, but I think green is one of the colors that looks good on me. So that is what I am wearing. It's so soft. The yarn, I know one of the yarn colors is by Twin Mommy Creations, and I don't know what the other one is, but again, I'll ask her and I'll put it on the screen if I can find out for you. So I do have a finished object. If you follow us on Instagram, I think I put a picture of me wearing this in our stories. Let me take this off so I can model my finished object. And but on Saturday, or was it Friday, I finished my Scattering Petals cowl. On episode 1, I showed these, I finished the hat. There's a matching hat pattern. This is a pattern by Dana Ray Makes, and it's called the Scattering Petals. So this is the cowl and the hat. I used the same yarn for both of them. The yarn that I used is from Murray Wool Goods, and it was my advent calendar. So what can I tell you about this? It's knit in one long tube, and then you Kitchener it together at the end. The pattern is lovely. I talked a lot about it in episode 1. Let me put it on and model it for you. So you can make it many different ways. The pattern tells you if you want it to be longer, how many stripes to make, and but I decided to just do the single wrap. So, but you could make it longer and wrap it around twice. But since it's already double thick, I thought just once for me living in Florida, I wouldn't need it wrapped around twice. But it hugs your neck perfectly. Keeps the back of your neck very warm. We've had some very cold weather here in Florida the last week or so, and this was just perfect timing for me to finish these two things. And when I had my coat on, it was all snug and cozy around my neck. And when I went out on Saturday night to dinner, it was just perfect. It kept me so warm. And I'll put a picture up here of me wearing it with my coat because I thought it looked really pretty with my coat on. So that is the, these are my reading glasses because I cannot see, like in the last 2 years, my eyes have just, I don't know, I can see far away. I just can't see what's right in front of my face. So I have to wear them sometimes, so I keep them on my head. But anyway, so this is a highly recommended pattern. The yarn, I think I told you it's by Murray Wool Goods. It's on her yak sock base, and it's very soft. It has a slight halo from the yak, and I really like that. I don't know if it shows up on this camera, but I love the softness of it. And yeah, so that's my finished object. All right, so let's move on to whips. Last time I showed my woodland socks. I call them my woodland socks that I was working on using our yarn from our Christmas mystery box last year from Olive. This yarn is by Olive and 2U. And I'm keeping this project in our matching bag. So last time I showed the sock, I was to here, and I just had to do a little bit left on the leg and then the toe. So I finished. Let me put it on a blocker so you can see it better. All right, so this is, I called it the woodland sock because it doesn't have a pattern. I just sort of did my own thing with the pattern. I did a 10 rounds for the cuff, and normally I would do a longer cuff, but I wanted to use the yarn on the heels and the toes also, and I wasn't sure if I did my normal 20 rounds if I would have enough for both socks. So I just did 10 rows to give it like a little bit of color. And then for the body, for the leg, I did knit 3, slip 1 for the first round, and then the second round it was just a knit round. So, and I just repeated that all the way down the sock. Usually I make my socks with 64 stitches, and I use a 1.5, a US 1.5 needle, which is I think 2.5 millimeters. I did a standard heel flap and gusset, and then I did what they call an umbrella toe. Actually, Kay Jones calls it an umbrella toe. And I knit a pair of socks that she designed last year with that toe, and I've pretty much adopted it for a lot of my socks that I make because I love how rounded it is, and it doesn't show, I mean, you can see the decreases, but it doesn't show the decreases like a normal toe does. So this one's done. So I guess this is technically a half finished object. And I am all the way through the leg on the second one, and I'm ready to start the heel flap. I use these markers, these light bulb pins, to count my rows. So I did 70 rows on the leg and 60 something, maybe 60 or 65 on the foot before I started the toe. So I will probably be done with these next time you see them. My boyfriend saw these and he said, they look like USF colors, which is where we went to college, and because their colors are green and gold. And I thought, well, that's fitting. So they're Christmassy looking, they're woodsy looking, and then they also, now that he said that, sort of remind me of the University of South Florida colors, which is our alumni. Here's the label for the yarn dyer, in case you're wondering. They dyed a exclusive colorway for us for our mystery box last year. So that was a lot of fun. And these socks are really fun to knit up. I love the yarn. The next whip I want to show you is something you haven't seen yet. It's very old. I started this last summer, I want to say. I think it was last summer. And it is one of the 2 garments that I have attempted. The pattern is the Flax Light by Tin Can Knits. It is a fingering weight pullover. And here it is. It's actually almost done. The only thing I have left to do is the sleeve. So I have to pick up all the stitches and knit the sleeve. The yarn is also by Olive and To You. In their, I believe this was called Summer Madness. And to me, I mean, it definitely looks like summer colors, but to me it also looks like it could be wintry colors too. So I have never knit a pullover before. This was only my second garment, and Tin Can Knits has the free pattern. It's basically just plain stockinette all the way down. It's a raglan style where you increase here at the shoulders. The sleeve, though, it does have a pattern. There's a purl. Every other row you purl, so it creates this really pretty ridge, like a garter ridge. So that's the sleeve. I did do the cuff in a different color, and the bottom of the body is also, the ribbing at the bottom is also that same color. I don't know why I haven't finished this. I didn't like knitting the sleeve. It was stressful to me to try to remember where all the decreases were. I mean, I did mark with the light bulb so I would remember for the second sleeve where I was, but yeah, I don't know what my problem is with it, why I'm not motivated to finish it, because I'm so close. I just have one sleeve left, and it's my first pullover, and I really want to wear it. So I don't know. I'm gonna put it on though, and so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is me wearing it. This is the sleeve that's not done yet. I really do like that pattern that's on the sleeve, and I think the sleeve to me looks a little like I made it a little bit shorter, but once I block it, I think it's gonna open up and it'll be the perfect length. So I don't know. I don't know I think the reason why, because it's a fingering weight sweater, I mean, it took me forever to finish it. But I do love it, and it's, you know, because it's fingering weight, it's a lot lighter, so I feel like I'll definitely wear it more here in Florida. I just need to finish this sleeve. I don't know. I'm gonna do it though, and that's the reason why I showed it to you guys, because I thought if I show it to them, then I have to finish it so they can see my progress and my finished object. So that was my motivation for grabbing it out of my whip bin and just talking to you about it. And actually talking about it now makes me want to pick up these stitches and finish. This is what the yarn looks like caked up. And the base, it's really soft. I think it has silk in it. Oh yeah, no wonder this is so soft. I forgot the base is a 70% superwash merino, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere on their Rawlings base. And the colorway is Summer Madness. You get 437 yards per 100 grams. And I think this is my third skein. So that's enough for the sleeve. And then you can't really tell, it's more purple than this, but this is what I used. This was from my stash. I don't know what it was, but I thought it looked pretty with it. And that's what I used for that's a better picture of what this color looks like. But so yeah, I'm almost done with that. And then I'll have a nice pullover to wear, my first one ever. So next time you see it, it'll be finished, soaked, blocked. That's the other thing. I have no idea how to block a sweater. If you have any advice on how to block a sweater, let me know in the comments, because I did block the other garment, but it wasn't a pullover. It was like a short sleeve little cropped thing, and I don't even wear it because, I don't know. I'll show you that one another day. So I'm going to take this off and then I'll come back. Next, I'm going to show you my 12 days of Knitmas shawl that I talked about last time. This is a knit along done after Christmas, the 12 days after Christmas, and it's hosted by Nomadic Knits. They're on Instagram as Nomadic Knits. I talked a lot about this shawl last time, so I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail on it. If you would like to know more in detail than what I show here, then you can go back and watch episode 1. But last time I showed this, I was here where this progress keeper is, and I'm almost done with this lace work. So this was day 5. Obviously I did not keep up with the knit along. It was a clue was released every day for 12 days, and I quickly got behind. But I really enjoyed this section. I have one more repeat to do for this, so there'll be one more row of this really pretty lace work. Definitely the most enjoyable section so far, but it's coming along. This one is just, I knit it when I can. What else can I say about this? I mean, I'm enjoying it, and I'm not gonna pressure myself to try to get it finished quickly. Like I said, I just have one more lace repeat, because you're supposed to have 6, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you're supposed to have 6. And then it moves on to another stitch pattern, which I really like. Each day you learned a different stitch pattern. And there were things in here that I hadn't done before, so it's like a really good way to learn new techniques. And it's fun to do the knit along. They have a Facebook group where everybody posts the yarn that they chose, and it's a lot of fun to see everybody's progress, their pictures that they post. So that is my progress on that. This is the bag that I have the Knitmas shawl in. All the yarn for it is in here too, and the shawl, and everything is in here. So, and this is our large size. This was a bag. I don't even know if we had this bag in the shop. I don't think we did. I think my mom just made it for me because we had the fabric. It's really cute though. So that's the bag it was in. My next whip is in this bag with the sloths on it. So cute. And it's the DK weight socks that I showed you last time. I'm holding two fingering weight yarns together. Let me get untwisted. So I'm using a self-striping yarn that I had left over from last year from Desert Vista Dye Works, a self-striping. And I'm holding that double with a sort of lighter colorway. It's variegated, but it's a very high contrast to this one. So I'm holding those double and making a striped DK weight sock. I already finished the first one. I showed it to you last time. And I had just started I had done the ribbing on the cuff, and I had gotten about halfway through the heel. That's where I was. on the heel last time, so I had just done the cuff and this part of the heel. So I finished the heel, did the heel flap and gusset, and I've finished my decreases, and now I'm just going to knit. The reason why I stopped here on purpose though is because I wanted to show you how I do my decreases. So normally, and this is on magic loop, so normally you would knit your sock on magic loop front, like there would be the front, and then the back needle would have the back half of the sock. But when I pick up the stitches on the heel here, I reorientate where the stitches are so it's facing sideways. That way I can do my decreases for the gusset without having to switch needles at the decrease. And it makes your gusset, to me, in my opinion, it makes your gusset much more cleaner looking. And you just put a stitch marker where you are doing your decrease. And when I'm done doing all the decreases and I'm back to my regular stitch count, when I go back around, I will switch them back and orient them the other way to where the front is on the front needle. The front of the sock is on the front needle and the back of the sock is on the back needle for magic loop. That way you can do the toe. Well, you can do the toe however you want. I guess you could, technically I could do the toe like this, but I like to have it back the way it was originally. I just do this for the decreases. So I'm done with the decreases now, and I'm just going to knit away until I get to the foot, and then I'll be done. So these were a cute pair. I liked how it marled the yarn, the self-striping yarn, holding it double with that other colorway. And they'll be a nice comfy pair of DK shorties. Okay, so the last two whips I have to show you are both new cast-ons since the last time you saw me. This one that I'm about to show you is from my Make 9 board that I showed on episode 2, and it is a blanket. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to make first from my Make 9 board. And I thought, well, let me go ahead and get the blankets that I want to make started first. Because blankets, they're a long-term project, and I thought, let me start those now. That way maybe, 6 months from now, they'll actually be finished. There's 2 blankets on my Make 9 board, and I started one of them. I have the project in this giant square tote thing, Christmas tote, because I have all of the yarn. I'm using scrap yarn, and I have all of the yarn in here because I want to be able to see and pick my next color. So I'm just keeping it in here, and I know as the blanket gets bigger, I'm gonna need something this giant for everything that I have in here. This is a bag, or this is I guess it's a tote by a company called 31. Long time ago, like probably 8 or 9 years ago, I was a 31 consultant where I sold their products, and I still, as a consultant for a company, you get a lot of free product, and this was one of the things that they sold at the time. I have no idea if they still sell this, but it's adorable, and it makes a great project bag, really. Okay, so this is how much progress I have made so far. So this is the Bits and Bobs blanket by Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears, and it truly uses scraps. None of these are new yarns. They're all from my stash of scraps. All right, so let me show it to you first, stretched out. I can't even stretch it out all the way because it wouldn't fit on the needles, but This is what it looks like so far. That's actually the wrong side. Let me show you the right side. I'm afraid I'm gonna drop the stitches, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So you hold 2 fingering weight yarns together, and they can be completely random. You could use one color all the way throughout the whole blanket and then use the second color as your scraps. But I'm using just random, I mean, not completely random. I'm designing it as I go as far as what colors I pick. But like as you can see right now, I've got these 2 I'm holding together. I just started this sort of brown color, grayish brown, and then I've had the yellow in there since I started this green color. So I'm just adding little scraps in, and I'm joining them together by the magic knot method. I really like how it's turning out. It's very squishy. This stitch pattern, it's a paid for pattern, so I don't want to say too much about how you do it, but it makes it very soft and squishy, and it's easy. I don't have to look at the pattern. I already know how to do it, memorized it, and it's fun picking out the colors. I thought at first, well, am I going to get bored with it because it's the same stitch over and over again? But I think what keeps it interesting is knowing that you're about to get to the next color and that you get to sort of design how you want it to look. So I think that will keep my interest throughout the entirety of the blanket. It's going to be pretty good size. A pretty good size once it's finished, because it's already stretched out really far. And I think it'll be a nice blanket just to cozy up on the couch with, or you know, just you can wrap it around you. The only thing I will say that I don't like about the pattern, I mean, everything about it is amazing. Her idea for it was amazing. I love the edge, the border that it creates. It just looks very finished to me. And this has nothing to do with the pattern itself. It has to do with the stitches and my lack of knitting skills. So the only thing that bothers me is that if I mess up a stitch, normally when you're knitting, you know, knitting and purling, if you mess up something, you can tink it back and figure out what you did, like if you dropped a stitch or whatever. But with this pattern, you can't do that. Or at least, I shouldn't say you can't do it. I don't know how to tink back these stitches, because they're not normal knit stitches. They're something a little bit different. So there are a couple of spots where I've had to sort of just fudge it. Like for example, I don't know if you can see this, but right here, there's a little boo-boo. And in the grand scheme of things, I'll never see it, and I don't care. But at the same time, you know, naturally I want it to look perfect, which I think it does. But I don't know, I need to figure out how, maybe there's like a tutorial online or something about how you can, if you mess up with this particular stitch, how you can tink back and fix it. Because I don't know how to. And there's a couple of spots where I have not done it perfectly, but that's okay. The nature of this, in the grand scheme of things, especially when you hold it back like this, you'll never be able to tell. And even if I can see it, no one else will be able to tell. And it's okay. So That's the Bits and Bobs blanket. The yarn, the reason why I have everything in this giant tote is because I'm using two contrasting colors. So I went through all my scraps. Sorry, this is going to be loud. I went through all my scraps and I made a bag of lighter colored yarns and a bag of darker colored yarns. And I pick one from each bag that I think looks pretty together, and that's how I'm doing it. So stuff that will contrast each other to give it that sort of marled look that it has. So I'm excited to keep going on that, and that's been what's been occupying a lot of my time the last 2 weeks. So, because it's really fun to knit on, and I really don't think I'll get bored with it at all because of the color changes, and just when you're knitting a blanket. This is my first knitted blanket, but from everything I've read and seen people on different podcasts, they always say blankets are long-term projects, and just be patient and it'll get done when it gets done. So that's kind of the attitude that I'm taking with it. The last whip I want to show you is another new whip. And I told you last time on the last episode that for my Yarnable box subscription that I get every month, I'm going to knit a pair of socks with it. So I'm just going to call it whatever that month is. I'm going to call it my January socks or my February socks. And at the end of the year, I'll have 12 pairs of socks, and they'll all be knit from my Yarnable subscription. If you don't know what Yarnable is, it's a monthly box subscription where you get yarn and other goodies dyed by the owner of Hypnotic Yarn. And January's color was a blue color. I showed it in the last episode before I had caked it up. This is the label, and the colorway is Bougie New Year. This is her plush sock fingering base. It's 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 437 yards per 100 grams. And it is so soft because it's an 85-15 blend. So here's what I have so far. So I cast on 64 stitches. I did a 20 round cuff, and now I'm just knitting. The reason why I have 2 strands on here is because I wanted to try the helical knitting method. And you use the helical knitting method for several different things. When you're striping something, you want to have a 1x1 stripe all the way down a project. You can use a helical knitting technique and it will give you jogless stripes. Also, when you are just wanting to alternate skeins on a project, you can use the helical knitting. And in fact, that pullover that I showed you was a helical knitting as well, because I alternated skeins on that one. The reason why I wanted to do the helical knitting on these is because I didn't want the yarn to pool. And I don't think there's anything wrong with pooling. I actually think it looks pretty, but I kind of wanted these colors to be spread out. So I thought, well, let me try the alternating skeins with the helical knitting, but it's still kind of pooled, just in a different way than if I had just done it with one strand. So, I mean, I really love it. I think it's beautiful. And I have a cute little Smurf stitch marker on there from our shop because he's blue and white, and I thought that was a perfect color to go with it. So I'm really enjoying it. It's really teaching me a lot about the helical knitting, so I'm glad I'm doing it this way. And but I was just a little surprised that it still came out this way, even with the helical method. So that just goes to show you that, you know, and every project's different. You know, depending on your gauge, your stitch count, the type of project you're making, if you're knitting in the round versus knitting flat, it all affects how the yarn is going to look. My socks might look completely different than someone else's socks because they might be using a different needle size. I am using a, let's see, these are the ChowGoo shorties, 9-inch circulars on a 1.5 US 1.5 2.5 millimeter needle. I love knitting on shorties. I usually use either the 9-inch circulars or I use magic loop, but I prefer the circulars. They go so fast. And with helical knitting, I feel like the circulars are better than magic loop, although you can do it on magic loop. So that's my January start. I wanted to get them cast on earlier in the month, but I was like, well, January is quickly coming and going. I need to get these started. So what else can I tell you about these? Oh, the pattern. Okay, so I thought I would just do a plain vanilla sock, but I'm actually going to do, which it is mostly vanilla, just straight stockinette, but the heel is going to be different. So I found a pattern, actually Alexandra from the Fiberbound podcast. I was watching one of her older podcasts, and she knit a sock with a pattern called the Magic Heel Socks, where it's not a standard heel flapping gusset, like slip stitch heel flapping gusset. It's a different kind of heel, and I'm all about learning different techniques for socks, so I am going to try. That's the pattern that I'm trying, and but I'm not to the heel yet, so but I'm excited to get there. So that's that. So every month I'm going to knit a pair of socks from my Yarnable box. The bag that I'm keeping this project in is one of our older designs, our older prints. It's not in the shop, but I just love this color. So that is it for whips. I know that was a lot. I'm sorry. Hopefully next time I'll have a lot more finished things. Okay, so the only thing I've gotten in the mail is Pin Club from Channy P's Corner. This is her card. It's called the Queen of Yarn Pin Club. I think it's a 6-month club. And you get a different enamel project bag pin in the mail every month. It's so fun. I think I've gotten 2 or 3 so far. She's on Instagram at Channy P's Corner. Love Channy. She's such a sweet lady. Follow her on Instagram. I love her. I love her feed. Okay, so these are some of the things that came. I've just been accumulating them because I wanted to show you guys. So she sent this really pretty pen with the diamond on the top. It's like a rose gold color. She also sent me, and I'm not sure if these come with the club or she sent me these as extras, so I'm not sure, but this really cute Queen of Yarn sticker that is gonna go on my laptop where I have all of my stickers. And then these are the pins that I've gotten so far. So this one says Queen of Yarn, and there's a little slider and you can slide the crown up and down. So cute. This one says, do you lift? It's a little avocado and he's lifting weights that are made out of yarn balls. And this one is a hand holding a really pretty glittery skein of yarn or ball of yarn. There was one other one that I got. It's on one of my bags. Let's see. Where is it? Oh yes, This one was a Christmas themed one. And it says, "Thanks, Santa." And it has Santa's sack. And it's got a bunch of little balls of yarn in it. So cute. And then there's another one. Oh, this one, I think this one might be my favorite. It says Yarn Diet. It's like a refrigerator. And you actually can open this one up. And it has shelves of yarn inside. I love that one. All of her pins come with a rubber backing, so they will not snag your yarn if you put them on your project bags. But isn't that cute? So I'm really enjoying the pin club. Thank you, Channy. I think I ordered it back, I think I started back in November, actually. It's been a lot of fun getting those in the mail. So that's it. That's all I've gotten in the mail. No new yarn. I was bad and ordered the February mystery sock set from Murray Wool Goods because it's an Outlander theme, and I'm obsessed with Outlander. So I did order that, but you know, it hasn't come yet because it's for February. So that'll be a nice surprise for next month. She's an enabler. If you're on a yarn diet and you're trying to not to buy any yarn, it's hard to resist her yarn for sure. Okay, so I think that's it for things I wanted to show you. Let me look at my notes and see if there's anything else I wanted to tell you about. There is a new to me designer that I actually found her on YouTube. Her name is Jessica M. Knits, and she is a knitwear designer. She designs a lot of sweaters, specifically color work sweaters, and you guys may have heard of her, but I've never heard of her or seen any of her knitwear. So when I found her podcast, I think it was yesterday on YouTube, I was like, wow, she did some really beautiful things. And she came out with a new design that she just came out with like a week ago. And it's for, it's a sweater, like a pullover sweater, and it has color work at the top. I'll put a picture of it up. I think it's called the Blizzard pullover, and it's specifically designed for people who are new to knitting color work. Now I have knit a little bit of color work, so I'm not completely new to it, but I've never obviously knit one in a sweater. So I think I'm gonna get that pattern and make that because I love the motifs. It's very beautiful, and it looks detailed, but it also looks simple at the same time. And she said she specifically designed it that way to be for people who are new to color work. So that is so check her out because she's got some really beautiful things. All right, I think that is it. Our shop will be updated later today with the new stitch marker that I showed you and the new, adding in the scissors. Don't forget about the candy grams, and we still have a few project bags left in the shop that we update from when our shop updated. So go check out our shop. I'll put a link below. I'll try to link as many things as I can that I talked about today as far as yarn dyers, patterns, anyone that I mentioned, that kind of thing. I'll try to do as much linking below in the description box as I can. If you like these videos, these episodes that we've done so far, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. This will be the best place for you to get shop updates, news for the shop, and to follow along with me on my knitting journey. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!